All right, we'll call, this is the East Long Meadow Housing Authority's February board meeting. First, just to announce that we don't have two board members, but we do have a quorum. Vinny and Danelle are both absent today. So, first on the agenda is the minutes of the October and November of 2018 minutes. I don't know if everyone's had a chance to take a look
I
at
didn't
it.
use them online.
The only thing that I noticed, Lynn, is it's probably my mistake from the October board minutes that you were not here. I forgot to put you down as absent.
And also Jim.
And James.
I noticed Jim. I didn't notice
Right.
myself.
So we need to just add
Oh no,
James.
the November I wasn't here. You did it right. The November one I wasn't here. The October one I was here.
Okay.
So I made the mistake. I did not put Jim in as absent.
Right. So if we, that's the only corrections that I saw. So if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to accept the October and November 2018 minutes.
I wasn't there.
Oh, so moved.
Do I hear a second? I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? So we just put for the October that James abstains from the vote, so,
October, but November he can.
right.
Yep.
So for October it'll be 201, November will be 30. Yeah, so we're all set. Next on the agenda is the Inwood Commons electrical bids.
I just gave you the papers for all the bids that came in. What they're doing is they're updating, they're adding a GFI in the bathroom. They are updating the kitchen outlets and putting in a new panel in each apartment and doing the main panels in each building.
So the HCD estimated cost was $181,000. Well, I got a lot of bids underneath.
From good companies.
And do they review all the bids to make sure they're all meeting the scope of work and they're all
Yep.
matching?
Yep. So we just have to vote on a good list being the lowest bidder, and then I'll submit the paperwork to the Department of Housing. They will then do his references, and then from there, we get moving on it, get a contract, and start working.
They're a good I mean, they have a good reputation, so it's nice they came in that low, yeah.
It's nice to deal with somebody that's
Yeah.
local too.
Local.
Yeah.
All right. No further questions. I'll entertain a motion to award Goodless Electric a bid of $142,000 for the work for Inwood Commons.
I'll make the motion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. 3-0. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the 705 substantial completion and payment.
Okay, just to let everybody know, I don't have paperwork for everybody, but we are having work done on two of our houses, one on Barnum Street and one on Lowell Street, and they're just about done, and they have two payments in, one for $41,000 and one for $2,000, and all there's left is a punch list left, and then we can start construction. This was for Abide. It was to get the lead and asbestos out of the buildings, and which was also covered by the Department of Housing. So we just need a vote on that too.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes got it, 2-0. So I guess I gotta sign that? No, I don't need to sign that, right?
Okay.
I thought I had to sign it. Alright. Next on the agenda is Formula Funding Award.
Again, as Jim always says, it just seems like you get it all the time and they just kind of move numbers around. This is our, I don't know why they're up ahead of themselves, but they're on the year 2022.
Wow.
So they just added that to my award.
It's a nice increase, $27,000 from 21 to 22, so.
Yeah, as long as I spend 80% of it, they're good.
I'm sure that money could be well used for our properties.
So you just need to sign this, Joe. That's the contract for the formula funding for the money that we get each year to do certain projects.
If that's a signature, you won't get the money. You got the money now. Very well done. Okay. Next on the agenda is utility contracts.
Okay, the utility, company that we deal with is, Secure Energy, and, Jody Morrow is our rep, and I gave somebody my sheet notes.
No.
Does it say 08? I think it's mostly at the electric. I think it was, yeah, I got my sheet notes. It was 7.99 for 36 months. Now it's going to, be, or it's gonna be the,
7.95 for gas?
The gas,
Yeah,
so the gas went down
7.95. Yeah, it's
7.95.
just-
7 months, yep.
but it's the electric is what, the gas is not up until like the fall, it's the electric which is up now, it's up next month. So, she was doing 31 months at 10 cents. And then, so it went down a little bit. It went from, well, it went up a little bit, so it was 0.08 for 30 months. So it's gonna go up a little bit, but she's saying it's still under where the
A little
utility allowance is. But then she just updated us. I have it in here. As of, I have all of our accounts on here. As of today, it actually went down a little bit more to 0.09950. Which is a good amount. I did contact Patriot Energy, or they actually contacted me. So I asked them to see if we can get a bid from them to be a little competitive, and they're basically right in the same ballpark. As the
Secure energy.
as the new price, yeah, the updated price.
So So it's competitive and about the same, so.
So I'm not sure that you know this, but this would be, now that we have the solar, this would be only for the energy that's above and beyond what the solar offsets.
Okay, I'm not too sure if I
Okay.
understand that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know that we will be able to answer it. I'm just more of a curiosity of how the solar gets net metered against the account. So like the solar on my house, basically you're paying for the solar panels, that pays for 80% of the electric use, so that's kind of a fixed rate. And then I still pay the utility for any extra electricity that I use. So I don't know exactly how this rate would lock in versus the solar rate, because the solar should be getting us a discount against something, and then maybe it's against this, or maybe it's against whatever the panels produce we pay at the solar rate, and then this would only be anything above and beyond that.
I think you're correct. It's the same thing what I got at the housing authority in Connecticut. So this would be the savings for anything that's used afterwards.
Right.
So I think the same thing, the company that we're involved with, the net metering, they're the ones that on a yearly basis, that's what, they predicted what our savings will be.
Right.
And if we don't get those savings, then that's when they cut a check, on a yearly basis to the housing authority, in case if we didn't get the savings. But you are, as far as I know from my first year down in Connecticut, the same thing as this is the offset afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, we just started in September with the solar, and the billing has been a little messed up. So we
It
have
will
been,
be.
we've been dealing with that for a few months, trying to get everybody on board, because it seems like it takes like another month or even 2 months for the bill to coincide with the net metering credits. So I think we finally got a handle on it. I think the billing company finally got a handle on it, and hopefully next month I think we'll be more on top of it, and then I can probably bring in what we've saved so far. It's been actually a significant amount of money that we've saved, which is good. That was the goal. And so what we did is we had a chart of what we paid for electricity, what our net metering was, the credit, and then what the actual expense that we had. So it kind of shows us, because some months we have zero payments for some meters, and sometimes it's $2,000 for some meters. So it all depends on. And then they always have this conversation that's, if we get less credit or more credit depending on the sun and how much sunshine we get that month, or so I'm sure it's all a science, but any savings we can get, I'm bringing it in. It's we got to see that savings, which is good. Spend the money someplace else more needed.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, this would be a separate discussion, because this is kind of just the rate at which we lock in anything that would be through National Grid otherwise, so kind of just the supply charge. So yeah, I'm
So
curious on the
hopefully
solar
it's
thing
right,
separately,
saving
but-
in two separate pots of
Yep.
savings.
Right. Any further discussion?
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to enter into a contract for 37 months with Secure Energy.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Ayes got it. 3-0. Is there anything I need to sign with that? Or is that
Nope.
good? Next on the agenda, parking stickers.
I have some things, I know, been here the last few meetings, but we have, last time we discussed parking stickers. I know Vinny was having an issue with people not being tenants parking in spots. I know, before that, we were talking about parking stickers and seeing if that would work, cause we were having issues with tenants that either had 2 cars or tenants that weren't moving during the snow, and they thought it would be easy, cause sometimes, we recognize cars, sometimes we don't. So this way, if everybody had a sticker, we would know that they are a tenant, they are supposed to be parking in a spot, and then, there's a few different types of stickers in here. We're hoping to maybe get one that has a number on it so we can coincide with the tenant, so we'll know whose car is whose. So these are just a couple of examples of what I found. I wasn't quite too sure if we should get one that goes on the outside of the car.
No, I would recommend, because what I do is have it going inside, because if you have it on the outside, you have an irate tenant, they can easily peel it off the windshield. So as long as it goes inside, what I would suggest is it's got to be universal. What I've done is backside, driver's side, that's where the sticker goes.
Right.
So in case if we do end up with a contract with some type of towing agency, they can go around and, especially because in the summertime, you could, if you put them in the windows, they could have the windows drawn down so you can't see it. So it's always the back window, doesn't go down, back windshield, so it doesn't go down. In case if it's a snowy event, if we do call a tow company, or if we have a tow company go around, if there's snow on the window, they know to do the left side to see if there's a parking sticker there. Otherwise, they could have the right to tow the vehicle.
Okay, so you're saying the back windshield.
Back windshield, driver's side.
Yeah.
You could have it on the driver's side or passenger side, whichever, and it should be placed for everybody that has a parking sticker, so it'll be in the same
The same location.
location.
Okay, because I was thinking doing it on the driver's side, on the back window, only because.
Right, the back window, yeah, back
Yeah,
window.
No,
windshield.
like the back door, back window, not
Yeah.
the back windshield,
Well, the window, well, I'm calling
the side
windshield.
window.
Yeah, the back window.
She's talking about the window on the door. You're
Oh, no,
on
not
the
the door,
door.
I'm not talking on the door, I'm talking on
No,
the
he's the
windshield.
windshield. He's right. If you had your windows down, not that you have your windows down in the winter, but I think, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking if they back in or if they pull in, if it was on the side, you could see them without getting out of your vehicle or, to walking around the car. That's
Mhm.
why I thought on one side, no matter what you're doing, you're able to see them. But then I also noticed that a lot of people, their back window in their car is tinted more naturally than their driver's side windows. And I've been noticing that a lot, so I'm like, well, if you put them back there, the window, I don't know if you'd be able to see them, so maybe the back windshield is the better one. The girl in my office thought the front windshield,
But
but,
there's too much going on in the
Yeah.
front with your washing, your car wash and your registration and everything, yeah.
yeah,
That's my
Yeah.
suggestion, it's wherever you think
Yeah.
would be appropriate, but wherever you decide, I think, it's gotta be for everybody, so it's in a location, so in case, like I said, if you ever enter into a towing contract with a towing company that comes around the properties and, sees a car parked in a designated area, in 001, and that car does not have a sticker, that car could be towed.
okay.
I know mine, I don't have the housing authority's logo on it, I just have the parking, so, parking permit, but you can have, ELHA if you want, so people, are not identifying that here's a person that's living in public housing per se.
Yeah.
But if you put
Okay.
ELHA, they may not know that symbol, or just a regular parking permit. But it should be identified with a number, you know. You don't have to have the A, but you know, ours
Right.
goes with 0001, 002 and all that stuff.
Okay.
Now here's gonna be the question, I should know the answer, but I don't. I know how many units we have, but I'm sure we probably don't have enough parking for all the units that we have.
We do not have enough parking for the units. We have enough parking for the cars, but not one per unit. Does that make sense to you? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of tenants that don't have cars.
Mm-hmm. And that's,
Mm-hmm.
right, correct, so we just wanna, so we need to probably put a policy together, and the ones that have cars right now, then, cause if you don't have enough you know, so if you have a new tenant or an existing tenant and all of a sudden purchase a car, and we don't have a spot for them, you know, they probably need to go onto a waiting list, per se, because the next thing you're gonna have is people gonna say, where am I gonna park my car? And I understand, it's the situation I have, at mine, you know, that, you know, we just saw you need to park out in the street or in a designated
Yeah.
area, that you're not gonna have a parking spot per se.
We've never had a problem with not having a spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just most people like to have a spot close to their apartment, or sometimes people want to see their car if they look out their
Mhm.
window, which sometimes we can't accommodate that.
And absolutely, we don't accommodate, so understand. But, you know, I guess before, you know, we have to probably think of a way of how to do that, because that's the scenario that you're gonna have. Because once it's issued, and people, you're saying, all of a sudden parking spots here and their apartment's down at the other end. It's basically the luck of the draw.
Even some condos are like that. You know,
Mhm.
you're not directly in front of your door. 'Cause I
Right.
saw one that it was 2 spots down in front,
Mhm.
not directly in front of the door, so, yeah.
Okay, so if we're gonna go ahead with the parking stickers or permits, we should have a policy in place first
I would
before
probably
we
put a policy in
implement it.
place,
Okay.
correct, because in case if somebody says anything, here's our policy, this is
Right.
what, this is how we, you know, so if you wanna write something and send it off to us to review,
Cause I have a parking policy now, but it has nothing to do with the permit, so I can send you
Mhm.
all the parking policy.
right,
You
and the same
can
thing, you
look
could
at
probably,
it, and then maybe we can add a sentence or
Right.
two
Yeah.
about the sticker.
and you could
then
probably
say-
send it to Pat, the attorney, just to take a look at it, so there's
Okay.
no legality involved, that we're treating everybody equally, and this is
Mhm.
what we wanna put in. Because I can foresee a problem down the road. Like you said, some tenants want their cars right in front of their doors.
Yeah. I mean, they're all pretty good. It's usually the new tenants, you know, they just, it's whatever's available.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the tenants are very good, you know, if someone has an operation, or if
Mhm.
someone, you know, needs a walker now or something, the tenants, you know, they talk among themselves and they shuffle themselves
Right.
around, so, to accommodate someone that their car is closer to their apartment or
Mhm.
something.
Are there
But, yeah, it's
assigned
usually-
spots,
no.
or do they
Nope, it's,
self-assign, like they
Yep.
each come up
Right,
with
so
a
I think
spot?
even when you put the
Mhm.
parking, instead of putting numbers on the ground, here's the parking spots, and it's first come, first serve. Wherever there's an open spot,
Yeah.
that's your spot. Now you just have the permit to park in a spot
my
on the
thing is
property.
more for tenants eliminating the 2-car thing, and also eliminating, knowing if someone is not a tenant that parks in a spot.
Mm.
I think that's really is the problem
And I think, and I
that we're
believe,
trying to eliminate.
and I believe you can make that in the policy, that's only 1 sticker per car. So if they have another car, they need to find other place to store that car. But I believe we can make that a policy that's only one sticker per car. Just fair-
One
fair-
car per
per
sticker.
Okay, yeah, one car per sticker. So it's been a long couple of nights, board meetings. But
Okay.
That's how I would go with it.
Mm.
All right. Any other further discussion? All set. Okay. Next on the agenda is maintenance request.
What the guys would like, I should have brought the policy with me. Right now, what we do is we give them an $80 stipend to
Mhm.
buy boots once a year.
Yep.
And they would like to use the $80 besides the boots, if they don't need boots that year, to buy either like heavy duty gloves, or because I think they're more worried about the winter time,
Mm.
because I was like, well, you guys go to Rockies or whatever and buy your work gloves, but they're like, they would like, in the wintertime they would probably like to go to a ski place and buy ski gloves, that would protect their hands better or keep them warm. They bought goggles, to help them, because sometimes they're out there in, really bad conditions, and it just helps them see better, and just for their own other protection. I don't mind, if they wanted to order something, I wouldn't mind, being, out there and accommodating them. If there was a certain thing that they want that we could order for them instead of changing that $80 rule. I do think, those are for boots. They do wear their boots every day, and I think after 5 days and after 52 weeks, I think their boots get worn.
If somebody gives them a pair for Christmas or something, can you change it that it's just an $80 per year stipend, and they can buy what they want with it for supplies, or no?
Well, it came about with safety and workman's comp, that they wanted them to have
special
steel
work,
toe,
yeah,
safety
yeah.
shoes that protected their
Yeah.
ankle.
Yeah.
And the guys brought up then, when we first implemented that if we wanted them to buy a special shoe,
Right.
they would like a special stipend to go
Right.
with it. So
Mhm.
that's how that started. Now they're just looking at using that stipend for something else. I don't know how much goggles are. I don't know how much ski gloves
I was
are.
going to ask, based upon our budget, if that's something that we could possibly purchase
Well,
ourselves.
that's what I thought. But
I-
they wanted to ask
Yeah,
that
I would
question.
just, my recommendation, that's, from a few years back when that whole shoe debacle happened, well, I was looking for the safety for the individuals, and,
Yeah.
you'll have individuals that are going out and spending $250 for a pair of boots. So that's when we came up with the $80, saying, here's an $80 that's going towards your boots. And so if you want to go out and buy $150, that's your option. But $70 is going to come out of your pocket. I believe, it's probably one of our things, our responsibility as the housing authority, to make sure that, the maintenance staff is well equipped with whatever. So I would probably say, if it's special, gloves or goggles that you believe that they need, I believe the housing authority could go out and buy that instead of giving them the stipend. Because my thing is, a pair of boots, if they're wearing them every day, 52 weeks, they are going to wear down. During the course of the year. I think we all go and buy pairs of shoes, numerous pairs of shoes during the course of a year. So steel toe boots, they're going to last you that 1 year. So my thinking is to keep that $80 towards the boots. If they go out and buy a pair, fine. If not, if their boots are in good shape, they saved the housing authority that $80. But that $80 that we may have saved could go out eventually to buy them the gloves or goggles. Maybe if they need jackets, that could be some stuff that we could look further down the road to purchase for the maintenance staff.
How many maintenance staff are there?
3.
Yeah. It's not like
It's not gonna
40
break, it's not
40
gonna.
workers.
Yeah, it's not gonna break the
Yeah,
budget,
no.
no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
And
housing
you
authority,
want them
no.
to be safe.
Yeah, well,
comes-
safety
well,
comes first,
yeah.
you know, and then especially when they're out in that cold
Yeah.
environment, you know, you want them to have their protective
Yeah.
clothing and everything else, so. I would just leave the $80 and tell the, you know, the individuals, let us know what you need, and, you know, you can look online or go to Rockies or Home Depot to see what these goggles or, you know, heavy duty gloves that keep their hands warm, especially when the temperature is 0 degrees and they're out there with the snow blowers.
Okay. The other thing that they were asking for is like shirts or a hat or something that said
identifies them.
to identify
Yeah.
them. But I know again when we had at the conference we had the workman's comp thing, they mentioned, yeah, but when they're out in public or say if they're sitting at a bar, they shouldn't be wearing that shirt or
Mhm.
that jacket with the logo on it, because that perceives the housing authority in a bad light, that type of thing. So I wasn't too sure if we should do like badges, so that way if they do come in at
a
night
good
or
idea.
during the day,
Mhm.
like if new tenant or something, if they go to someone's door, at least they can show their badge
Yep.
to
That's
say,
a good
you
idea.
know, I'm an
Yeah.
employee of the housing authority, and
No, absolutely.
you know, instead of going through, you know, the closed thing, only because of that workman's comp thing.
Mhm.
I mean, if we do a policy saying they can't do it, and then what happens if they do it and something happens? I mean, I don't know. So to
Yeah.
me,
No,
I
I-
thought the badges were a better thing.
No, absolutely,
I
they should have
think
a badge,
that's
that's what I
good. I
have.
think that's a good idea.
Staff,
Yeah.
new employees,
Yeah.
they get badges.
Okay. All right. I have no idea even where to look to get them, but I'm sure I can find some place that has them.
I do mine in Connecticut. I'm
I'll
sure you
call the
could.
town.
Yeah,
Town hall should have.
Yeah, the town. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I
'cause
think
they-
they have to all have
Yeah,
them
because
too.
you're,
So I
especially
can
like the
call
rec
them.
department,
Right.
they're doing all
Yeah.
the badges for being coaches and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
they'll
so.
have
Oh, they even do them for the coaches.
Would you like one?
I know the teachers have them at schools.
Yeah.
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 So I'm sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure Danielle probably would know at the senior center, they could probably possibly do the badges.
Okay.
See what there may be a little cost to it, but
Yeah.
but at least it's identifying, so the same thing for the resident. It's just like if you have a
Right.
cable guy coming, like, you know, making sure that they have a badge. I'm sure not all the residents know all the maintenance staff, even though we only have 3. They may, you know, if they're brand new to the properties, they probably don't know who the maintenance guys are, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no badges is fine.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the last thing on the agenda was Commissioner Vincent Mondolini wanted to have a talk about parking, so since unfortunately he's not here today, I'm just gonna table that discussion till next month's board meeting, and see what his issue is in regards to the parking.
I know the last time he brought it up, I think he was complaining about people parking in tenant parking spots. And then we brought up doing the parking stickers. So I don't know if there's a different issue or if he was just bringing up the same issue. But hopefully the parking stickers will eliminate,
A lot of problems.
yeah.
Alright, so we'll just table it for the next meeting. Anything else?
I'm good.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes got it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.